Hey, it's your boy Crypto Expat back with another video. In this video, we're going to talk about the explosion of Tron yield farming. And it's really important to note that there's some things happening right now. So whether you love it or whether you hate it, I'm going to bring it to your attention and then you can do what you want to do with it because it's just starting. It's not going to stop. And I think it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So let's just talk about a few things that are at play. But just before we get that, don't forget to destroy that like button. It really helps the channel and it really shows me that you appreciate these videos, and it encourages me to make more so I can bring more value to you guys that watch my channel. And when you have the knowledge there, you can then act on that knowledge and make more money in crypto, in DeFi, in basically anything related to crypto. Now, there is a saying, this is not financial advice, this is just life advice, and you can use it with crypto. I guess it's more so prevalent to crypto, and that's don't date it, trade it. And this is what I regret back in 2017. I should have taken more profits. And in the ICO, even though I did very well with ICOs, and our group did very well with ICOs, people made six figures, multiple six figures. However, what I regret is I should have just taken profits. And what I made the mistake was, and this is a rookie mistake, is that I got emotional about these projects. I started to tag myself, involve myself in the group, and I associated emotionally with that project. Don't ever do that in crypto. All right, do not ever do this in crypto, because once you start getting emotionally attached to a particular coin and you tag yourself as part of that community, it's going to be very hard for you to leave because they've got that emotional connection. When that project dumps, or the devs dump all their coins and they just exit scam, or they just leave, move on to another project that's more profitable, you're not going to leave because you have that emotional connection. So don't date it, just trade it. Okay, just trade it, take your profits, learn to take profits. Okay, so with yield farming, Tron yield farming is really starting to make some inroads. This Tron Fi, I recommend you go and have a look at their Telegram to see what's going on. So then you have a gauge of what is happening with Tron DeFi, and particularly yield farming. See, as you guys know, if you're doing yield farming on Ethereum, you know that the gas prices are $30 for each transaction. If you want to exit, you're willing to, and you have a big bag of 10 or 20 ether, you're willing to spend $100 on gas just to get out of it quick and liquidate your funds. And this is what's stopping these, pretty much it's people with a lot of Ethereum that have a lot of money in these yield farming protocols on Ethereum. That's really where the big boys are playing. However, Tron is changing that. Tron is moving, shifting this place where big boys play to Tron. And because when you want to get out of these projects, these yield farming projects, it's only going to cost you like 5 cents, and you can get out of them really fast. Now, with Tron, it's just emerging. Okay, so there was these projects that have just started. Again, if you go to Tron Fi and have a look at the projects, there was Pearl that's going, Salmon, there's a bunch of them. So Pearl's like the bigger one. That's like the first DeFi yield farming Tron project. Okay, and it's very big. A lot of money in Pearl right now. Then there was Salmon. Okay, Salmon's also fairly big. I've done videos both on these. Then there's like this Jack Pool. Okay, so this one is also fairly big, and it's starting to gain momentum. There's a big Telegram group, and also Carrot. Okay, I don't know where they get these names from. Anyway, so Carrot, it seems to be that these yield farming projects, they're all like related to food, because we saw Yam that crashed and burned, then Yam 2 came out, then we had sushi, then we had kimchi, which just crashed to zero. So the theme is basically yield farming, and because it's yield farming, it's like food related. So it is what it is. So what's happening now is more people are moving over to Tron-based yield farming projects. Now, whether you like them or not, whether you like DeFi or not, whether you think yield farming is a scam, whether you think Tron DeFi is bad for the crypto community, again, right? That's your opinion, and that's great. You really have to look at what is happening from a trends perspective. Okay, whether you like it or not. Again, like I said, try not to get emotional with this stuff. You know, people that are in Bitcoin and they're Bitcoin maximalists, they're all about Bitcoin. And then you've got the Chainlink army. Then you've got the XRP army, or whatever they label themselves. You know, they're more towards that type of group, and they associate with that group. You know what? This is crypto, and it's all good. Everyone can associate, but for me, I'm about making money in crypto, and I don't associate myself with anyone. I do favor projects, but I never associate myself with, and that's something that you have to learn in crypto, because when you take gains and when you dump, or when you exit, you have to do it with no emotion. So whether you think yield farming is great for crypto or you don't, take a perspective where you're looking at it from a bird's eye view, because these things are happening. If you don't like DeFi, it's happening. That's just it. All right. You either go with the flow or you're gonna miss out on profits. Whether you got into the ICO craze where you thought it was just a pump and dump. Okay, it happened. Okay, people made a lot of money. And this is happening right now with yield farming. And now the transition is going to Tron, because you can get in and out of these projects very fast. The gas fees are nothing. And Justin Sun seems to be kind of behind a lot more of this, especially the Tron related stuff. There's 6.9 billion, not million, billion locked up in this new Tron Genesis mining. And if you just want to know how much that is, I've already done the calculations. It's $188 million, or about 6% of the actual total Tron supply is been locked up in this project. And it's very vague too. If you're going to have a look at it, what's this Tron, what's this about? It's very vague on what this is about. But people have locked up their Tron because they're going to get this Sun token. And with this Sun token, there's only about 19 and a bit million, nearly only 20 million Sun tokens. I think it's in the white paper, but have a read of it. By locking this up for the next 14 days, they're going to get this Sun token. All right, and if there's only 19, 20 million, it's going to be valuable. But what this is doing is, this is locking up the supply. Obviously, there's less tokens out in the market. And when we just saw this like dump of Bitcoin of like nearly 2,000 from 12 to like 10,000. Have a look at all the coins that are in the red. Pretty much everything except the stable coins, right? You look at Tron. Tron was up to 3.5 cents, and now it's dropped down to just under 3 cents. So a lot of these coins took 30%, 25% hits. Tron didn't take as much of a hit, even though it still went down, obviously, because everything went down. But Tron is one of those coins that this new trend, okay, again, don't get emotional with this stuff. Just follow the trends. Follow the money, all right? If you follow the money, don't get involved, don't get emotional about it, you're going to make a lot of money. This is just the beginning, all right? This is just the beginning with this Tron yield farm. People are jack. They're sick and tired of paying $30, $40, $50 transaction fees on Ethereum. They've been talking about Ethereum 2.0, what, 4 years? When's this 2.0 going to come out? It's going to alleviate the scalability problems on the Ethereum blockchains. Blah, 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 blah. This has been talked about for like the last 4 years. And guess what? They tried their testnet and it failed. Okay? So people have they're sick and tired of waiting. They're moving over to Polkadot, and these yield farming programs have now looked at an opportunity which is on Tron, simply because the technology is there, the smart contract technology is already there, and to get out of these projects, it's going to cost you 5 cents. You can liquidate it instantly. Obviously, with Just Swap that's just been built, and now it's basically the version of Uniswap but on the Tron blockchain. It's clunky. Okay, it doesn't work very well. The other day, about 2 days ago, it didn't work at all because of the sheer amount of traffic that was hitting JustSwap to exchange into other, what they call TRC20 tokens, which is basically the equivalent of ERC20 tokens, but on the Tron blockchain. You know, people are flipping, they're getting into their yield farming projects, Pearl, Salmon, Jackpool, Carrot, whatever you want to call it, whatever name, think of a name. You're going to see more and more of these pop up. Now, will there be scams? Yes, there will be scams. But if you follow this TronFi and then you follow in the Telegram groups, you're going to know which ones are the scams and which ones are not. What's happening now is Polo's starting to get into the yield farming. If you guys remember back in 2017 when there was a massive exit from Poloniex. Back then, Poloniex were playing really, really tough, really, really hardball, and they could just upset a lot of people because they were one of the number one exchanges, and they just made it difficult for people. But now it's when everything moved from Polo to Binance, Poloniex lost like literally 90% of their volume overnight. And the reason for that was because of the law changed that people could get tracked for their crypto. So people didn't want to get tracked for their crypto. They had to pay tax on pretty much on every transaction. Then they moved away from Polo to Binance. So now Polo were like, well, you know what? We're going to get into the DeFi craze. So if they're going to list stuff on Polo, this is a good indication that these projects might be somewhat legit. Okay, there might be some legitimacy to the actual yield farming project. Okay, so they're not going to just list scams, and even though there's no guarantee to this stuff, okay, there's Carrot, Jackpool, Salmon, Pearl. There's no guarantee to this stuff. But when you see like exchanges like Poloniex, they're going to list like Pearl and these other type of yield farming, at least it's some sort of assurance that there could be they're not going to just exit scam. Okay, even though these projects like Sushi and Kimchi and some of these exchanges, they listed them and then they just dumped because what they did was they just looked at the volume, looked at the opportunity. Hey, people are buying this stuff, we better list it. We're going to lose money on fees. They listed them and then they just took dumps. So just keep an eye on that. Follow them on TronFi on Twitter. Then you're going to know the latest, like the next projects that are coming out. Also, they're getting very smart, these yield farming projects, the people behind them, because what they're doing is they have these pools, and these pools are either paired up with other tokens. All right, so this one here is, if we look at this one here is going to be like a pairing of Carrot and Tron. Some of them, you'll start to see that they'll be like a balancer pool where they just pool with like multiple tokens, 3 tokens, 4 tokens. It's going to get more complicated, but it's going to be an opportunity for you guys to get into this stuff. Because it's gonna, like we saw on Ethereum, how that evolved. Now it's gonna evolve on Tron because people are sick and tired of paying these absorbent gas fees. So keep an eye on this stuff, right? Now, whether you agree with any of this stuff that I just said, whether you like yield farming or not, it's gonna happen on Tron. Just mark my words on that, okay? It's gonna happen on Tron simply because it's solving a big problem, and that's gas fees and scalability. Right now, as of right now, it can handle the volume. It's got twice the speed of Ethereum, and the gas fees are literally 1 cent, 2 cents, 3 cents, 5 cents. And that is huge. A lot of people are going to come into it, especially people that have $10, $20, $50. They want to make some gains. Their first stop is not Ethereum, it's going to be Tron. All right, guys. So let me know your thoughts on that. And also, did you like my last video? I used no background, just like this one, no background, so you can hear me more clearly. Let me know your thoughts. Is this something that you're going to look at more closely? or you just don't like Tron at all because of the name, and you don't like Justin Sun, okay, and that's understandable. Let me know your thoughts, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.